Hey folks, do you ever experience any sort of front-sided forearm dull, achy pain, potentially some excessive tightness through that forearm as well, either during or after a game of golf? If so, you might have something that's called golfer's elbow. Essentially what golfer's elbow is, it's a tendinopathy of the flexor muscles in our forearm. So all of our flexor muscles in our forearm come and they have a common attachment site at our medial epicondyle. So the clinical term for golfer's elbow is called medial epicondylitis. Essentially what causes this is whether it be repetitive or very forceful excessive movements through these muscles can start to aggravate some of the tendons and kind of cause some of that achy, dull pain, potentially that really tight muscle feeling. So if you're a right-handed golfer, typically this happens on our trail side arm or the right side arm. And typically it's at the top of our backswing and now the forceful downswing. We start to place some excessive forceful stress through our flexor tendons. And again, it would be totally vice versa for a left-handed golfer. So on the left side on downswing right through here. So if that sounds could be affecting you, something that kind of aligns up with what you feel on the golf course, give a couple of these a try. So first and foremost, you can kind of work through some of the muscles and the tightness yourself. So what we can do is we can actually take a little bit of a grip on our forearm with our hand placed in that shortened flexed position. And you can kind of pin on some of those muscles, and then you're just going to slowly start to extend the wrist and then open up the fingers as much as you can and then straighten out the arm. And you should start to feel a big stretch through the forearm, and you can kind of work through different spots and kind of work through some of that tightness yourself. Another strengthening exercise that we can do to kind of treat this medial epicondylitis is start to work on some of our pronation and supination, which again can be aggravated during that golf swing. So even if you take a golf club here and kind of hold your arm at about 90 degrees, just like so, and then slowly controlling this lowering position into what we call supination and kind of holding this here isometrically, so we're not moving, holding that stretch. You should feel a little bit of strain on the forearm muscles and then slowly bringing it back up. So the key to this one is going to be lots of slow, controlled movements through this supination movement, and now opposite, pronation movement. Finally, another exercise that we can do for this golfer's elbow is to strengthen the flexor muscles in the forearm themselves. So one way that I kind of like to do that again is kind of focusing slowly on both the concentric and the eccentric contractions, so the shortening and the lengthening of those muscles. I've got a light little kettlebell here. This can be done with a heavy water bottle, a soup can, a hammer at home, a dumbbell, whatever you have, it'll work. So we've got the kettlebell here. I'm going to place my forearm and just rest it onto the bench here on a flat surface. And then I'm going to flex the forearm muscles all the way up and then really slowly lower into extension, dropping the handle into my fingers, getting that full extension of the wrist, and then slowly curling it all the way back up. And just working your way through those motions, slow and controlled, can add a little bit more strength to those flexor muscles in the forearm. Hopefully that helps. Good luck on the course.